remove carbon, decarbonize our modes of transportation, our ways of cooking, our ways of doing everything, our ways of powering data centers. And the bioeconomy and renewable feedstocks are a massive part of it. Clean fuels decarbonize transportation. They provide energy security. They provide economic activity. When we're operating at full capacity right now, we're at $20 billion a year industry that needs to grow. That is part of a strong, vibrant, free Canada.
Why does it need to grow, and what is advanced in the advanced biofuel Canada?
Why do we need to grow? So the clean fuels industry that contains many different technologies like biodiesel, bioethanol, renewable diesel, co-processing, sustainable aviation fuel, biomarine fuel, RNG, the list goes on and on.
Okay. Oil liquids though, right?
No. RNG is gaseous. Yep, we are. Sustainable molecules are meeting sustainable electrons. We can do with the bounty that is Canadian agriculture, waste feedstocks, forestry feedstocks. We can remove carbon, decarbonize our modes of transportation, our ways of cooking, our ways of doing everything, our ways of powering data centers. We can do in a very low carbon way, and we complement petroleum fuels. I mean, increasingly, Canada's superpower is energy and natural resources.
And the diversity of it.
And the diversity of it. And the bioeconomy and renewable feedstocks are a massive part of it. So why should we grow? Because we are a Canadian industry whose economic impacts stay in Canada. That's extremely important, or the benefits. When you have a sector like we are getting towards that is basically Canadian feedstocks turned into fuels in Canada and used in Canadian markets, is just really wins along the whole supply chain.
Why is it so difficult then to get support, especially from our federal government, but perhaps also maybe from investors? I guess the two kind of go hand in hand in this country when we're so perfectly positioned, you could argue.
Well, I'd say we've got a lot of support right now. Prime Minister Carney's announcement on September 5th, which introduced a biofuel production incentive and also stated the plan to amend the clean fuel regulations, our clean fuel regulations, and that we have in place, the web of provincial policies we have. All of these point to an industry that does have the focus of the Canadian government. Biofuels may not be specifically on the major projects list, but biofuels power major projects. To build major projects, you need fuels, and why shouldn't those fuels come from Canadian sources? So our sector is very pleased with the level of engagement we have with the federal government and provincial governments.
That's nice to hear, actually. And you're not just saying this because we're blocks away from the Parliament and the Prime Minister's office. Right?
It has nothing to do with that. It's this government, and of course the Trudeau government, and the Prime Minister Stephen Harper government.
Okay,
they have all supported renewable fuels.
Oh, interesting.
The renewable fuel regulation came into place with Prime Minister Stephen Harper. Prime Minister Trudeau it built on that with the clean fuel regulations, and now they're being amended in a targeted way by Prime Minister Mark Carney. They are, they're all building on each other. The main issue, Flo, is that our clean fuel program federally, the clean fuel regulations, they need to be seen as essential on all sides of the House of Commons.
Okay.
Right? This is.
Oh, so there is some form of opposition from some faction?
Well, this is policy that it really does, like the feedstocks for renewable fuels are largely grown in blue conservative ridings.
Okay.
The emission benefits largely are occurring everywhere across Canada, but in city centers where there may be more red and orange and green representation, right? So this is really something that is should easily have multi-party support.
Yeah.
And as an association, that's what we're working on.
By the way, if any Americans are watching, blue is red and red is blue in Canada. I know it's slightly confusing.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That's right.
and we won't even go into the metric system and these kind of things. We find ourselves in a pretty unique context. Some would say that it's a very difficult context, that it could even be a bit grim for Canada with the relationship with our neighbor to the south. But at the same time, they are also our greatest competitor. In some ways, right? I mean, the bioeconomy is as a national strategy since, I don't know, maybe close to a decade. Then we're also often hearing that Europe and particularly Nordic countries and maybe the UK or others are perhaps a bit more progressive. How do you place Canada's competitiveness in that context, especially in terms of attracting capital and investment, which we so dearly need right now?
We're working on it. What was in the budget that came out on November 4th has many opportunities for building Canada strong. That's the title of the budget. It has a climate competitiveness framework that is noted in the budget and will be released soon. So at the end of the day, it's all about creating investment conditions. That's what attracts capital, because you kind of started out the question with why is it difficult? No pressure, no diamond. The renewable fuel sector, we are making fuels to compete and expand, to compete with and supplement Canada's petroleum fuels wealth. And we're doing it from feedstocks that are different than what we've used. We don't just pull the feedstocks for renewable fuels out of the ground, we pull them out from higher up in the ground. But oil and gas comes out, crude oil comes out in a way with hydrogen and carbon bonds in it that you can make a whole range of products with. We have the same thing with renewable feedstocks, and you just have to get the policy signals right in order to make it viable. So we look at it that we are in the third phase of clean fuel policy development in Canada. Phase 1, Prime Minister Stephen Harper with a new renewable fuel requirement. Phase 2 was basically the pan-Canadian framework on clean growth and climate change, which was Prime Minister Trudeau. And now we're in phase 3, which is taking the CFR and expanding it, making it more durable. Probably a key milestone in this third phase is Canada's signing on to the Belém 4X Declaration on sustainable fuel growth, which sets as a goal for all of the signatories to quadruple the amount of sustainable fuels that are used. So in Canada, if we have now essentially a clean fuel marketplace that is 6 billion liters, when you combine renewable diesel, biodiesel, bioethanol, co-processed, we're about 6 billion liters now, maybe a bit more. Quadruple that. That's 24 billion liters. We have the feedstock to do it. The Clean Fuel Regulations has the land use and biodiversity criteria. We can do this responsibly. So it's a good time to be optimistic about our sector.
That's great to hear. And I also appreciate the fact that you show this continuity across different political mandates in Canada, which is something you don't hear very often.
Tell me your problem. I'll tell you how clean fuel solves the hard.
Okay, interesting. Final question, and completely shifting gears here to a more human side, I'd say. So Jeff Passmore, 10 years of Stating Up. You've been a participant, a sponsor, a speaker, and just a part of this, let's say, for multiple years. I don't know exactly how many, but how would you define, if you could, in a few words, if you could give me like 3 words that define Jeff Passmore's legacy for this industry, what would those 3 words be?
The OG, the original gangster. That's you, Jeff. I see you. You're always like the sharpest dressed with the best shoes, the best smile.
I know it is his shoes too this year.
And
nice
you
sneakers.
Yep. And Jeff is someone, because I've been in the sector for 20 years.
Okay.
So I was a lot younger when I came in, and Jeff was a senior guy. And
he was also a lot young.
We all tend to age at the same pace. But Jeff, he has always been generous with his knowledge, his wisdom, perspective. He's very funny. So this is quite good. And he has made a mark and continues to do so in the bioenergy space.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Hey, Jeff. Cheers, Fred.